Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Playing World of Tanks. I'm AJ, and today we'll be looking at a game that I had in Centurion Mk7/1, which is the Tier 9 medium tank for the British. It is a very good tank if played correctly. People underestimate the SAM-1. I like it. It's good. It has decent characteristics, as far as the gun is concerned. The turret's very well armored, not without weak spots though, and the hull is just garbage. If you're relying on the hull to bounce on the SEM1, then you're doing it wrong. Anything that it meets potentially can actually pen the hull of this tank, so you have to play this tank always in a hull down spot. Now swamp plays are very interestingly. The old meta used to be that you crossed in the north and basically had a big brawl, and whoever wins kind of like wins the match. Now basically what happens is people who cross the bridges on either side get annihilated by the defending team, and once that's done, you cross through the middle on the other side of the ridge and basically kill people using underpression. Over here, we already lose like 5 tanks before the enemy loses a single tank. So this was the unfortunate case in which like the enemy was smart enough not to cross onto our side, but our team were not smart to do the same. So they cross in mass over into the south and basically get taken out. I think without the loss of any tank on the enemy team, because we lose 5 tanks and for 0 tanks. As far as enemy is concerned. Now this put all of our the rest of our team in a very precarious position, which we had to do a lot more than we had to normally to have to carry this game. Shout out to the T49 on our team. He played an excellent game as well, and without him I don't think I would have had the game that I did. At this point I'm just waiting to see if somebody's gonna come through the middle, so I can provide them support. At this point I'm just waiting, trying to pick a good time to sort of like either relocate or do something in the middle. I think at some point, at this point I was still here just because I knew that the T95 was still alive in the south, and as soon as I realized that he just died, I basically start heading back to base, because the thing is like somebody has to protect the base, and that means somebody has to be where the TDs generally camp if you lose out completely like we did, because even though the JPZ is there, the JPZ is a tank that requires support. The JPZ is not a good tank that plays well in isolation. That means like it can't just be left on its own. It gets circled way too easily. It doesn't have good horsepower to ton ratio, and also its armor is effective so long as you can point it in a certain direction. As long as it isn't, then you're just asking for trouble. So the JPZ on our team tries to take a snapshot at 1390 and misses him completely. I tried to take a snapshot, but I didn't think I would connect anyways, so I'm gonna go into my base and start camping, and hopefully trying to spot something that's like coming into our base. The other thing to note in this game that I actually did not have 6 sense, so if you see me like moving out of way is because if I think I was spotted, then I'm just moving. I'm not actually sticking around to find out. And that's what you should be doing. If you think you would have been spotted in a certain place, best thing to do is actually start moving. There's no point in just sitting and trying to figure out whether you are spotted or not. More often than not, it will actually get you killed. Now the VZ actually comes to the middle. Unfortunately for him, I actually was sitting in the perfect place to take him out, and so that's our first victim of the game. The Indian Panzer on the enemy team was not so lucky. He takes a massive shot from the early and gets taken out, and for him unfortunately it's not gonna get any better because the Leo PTA and the Leo are just giant early baits as far as I'm concerned. So I come here and sit in this bush because I'm thinking that the 1390 will not move into our base, and if it does, I can just move over and try to take a shot. Over here I managed to hit his barrel of his tank and not do any damage. And the 1390 first decides to go after the JPZ, kind of like realizes JPZ is in a better position and decides to run away. Now at this point, I tried to take a shot at the 1390, and JPZ on our team does a very stupid thing, and what he does is he actually goes chasing after the 1390. Not true, he can actually kill the 1390 in one shot, but if the 1390 gets behind him, it can do a lot more damage than the JPZ can, and that's exactly what happens. 1390 managed to get behind the JPZ. I did not take a shot because I didn't want to hit the JPZ accidentally, and so I just hold my shot. But unfortunately, I don't get to shoot the 1390 because he got behind the JPZ, and the JPZ was basically shielding him from taking any shots. Now at this point, I kind of like totally space out and forget that the bat chat has crossed in the south, and that's because since the bat chat wasn't spotted on the map for like all this duration, and he hadn't had any kills in the meantime anyways, so I kind of figured he must have crossed and was waiting. Plus I saw the JPZ take a 400 some odd damage hit, and I was thinking to myself, what tanks could have done that kind of damage to him. And there's only one answer. It could have only been the bat chat. So I knew he was sitting in my general direction. I just space out and just don't think of it when I was trying to shoot the 1390. Now again, we go back to the game of like just sitting here waiting. I moved my tank back into cover just because the little bit of track that was actually sticking out can be problematic sometimes. So we're just waiting at this point. Because I can't go anywhere without giving my position away, and if the bat chat catches me in the open, I'm very, very dead. So I'm just waiting to see what the bat chat does next, and hopefully react accordingly. Now I was pretty sure that the bat chat would inch his way forward to us, but nope, I was wrong. He just like makes a beeline into our base, and he manages to take out both the RD. I know that he's fired 2 shots. He has 5 in total. I do manage to connect the shot right there, and he puts 1 in return, and he uses the last 2 of the shots in his clip to take out the last RD. Now again, he has 40 seconds to reload. Now I know I have to make my shots count. Also, the other thing is the RD actually missed me before in the game, so I know that he might be looking in my direction. The 1390 tries to jump me from behind, but unfortunately for him, one of our teammates was actually looking in his direction and actually managed to take him out. I'm like moving in between shots, trying to make sure that the RD doesn't connect, and that would be the only way that I sort of like lose this in this situation to a bat chat. So again, trying to keep a little bit of distance between us, so when he actually does reload, he doesn't manage to like get close to me super fast. But I didn't need to worry. I think either he didn't reload on time, or he just took way too much damage early on for him to sort of like be effective. Again, that was a very poor play on the bat chat's part. When he actually rushed the base, he should have actually killed me first, because if he kills me, the RD are just sitting ducks at that point. There's nothing that can save the RD. The RD can't defend themselves. He just has to rush behind one of them and just wait for his reload to finish. What he did was he prioritized getting kills over winning, or he didn't like try to prioritize correctly, and so that cost this essentially at this point basically cost him the game, because he threw away his tier 10 for 2 RD, whereas he could have gotten the 2 RD and in me in the process. Now the enemy is trying to rush the Type 61, who has gotten into really close to their base. Then I'm gonna just come up here over the ridge and start putting pressure onto the tanks that are trying to cross in front of the Type 61. Unfortunately, our T-34 gets taken out, and the Tiger 2 rushes the Type 61, and he unfortunately dies as well. The T-49 managed to take out the enemy Type 61, and that leaves just the T-34 and the enemy RD to deal with. And over here, I did not know which direction the T-34 was looking at, so I'm just gently poking over the ridge because I don't want to take an unnecessary shot. I managed to put one into the T-34, and now I'm just coaxing him to turn his barrel in my direction. And when he does, I commit fully, because I know that I don't want the T-49 to take the shot from the T-34. That would have basically left him at very low health. Now it's just a matter of cleanup, more so than not. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I try to pick replays which kind of showcase some decision making aspect of the game, like not complete like damage, or I killed the 12 enemy players, and that is more often than not is pure luck, that you happen to be in the correct spot at the correct time. So if you like what you see, feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next episode of Playing World of Tanks.